Hey everybody, welcome back to Every Day a Project. Today I'm going to set the hoops on some traditional Japanese chisels I bought online. For those of you who don't know, Japanese blacksmiths do not install the hoops on new chisels. They leave it to the new owner to set the hoops themselves. Variations in climate and humidity can greatly affect the diameter of the wooden handles, as they may swell or shrink differently than they did where the blacksmith was located. Inspect your hoop. One side has a bevel on the inside and the other has a slight ridge. Make sure when seating your hoop that the bevel side is down towards the chisel blade. The bevel helps it glide smoothly over the wood as it compresses the fibers when it is hammered down. The ridge on the top grabs the fibers so that the hoop is less likely to come loose and back off the wooden handle. To set the hoops, I'll be using a traditional Japanese Daruma hammer. You can use any smooth-faced hammer as long as it has a face that is slightly rounded. Daruma hammers have a convex side and a flat side. It's important to know which is which for this process. Before seating the hoop, I want to compress the fibers in the handle. After the hoop is set, the fibers will slowly uncompress while inside the hoop and create a tighter fit. I'll do this by simply pounding on the side of the handle with the hammer against a hard surface. Do not place the handle on the edge of a surface with a sharp edge, such as a metal table. You may score or sever the outer fibers. Make sure that if you are using a traditional Japanese hammer, that you only use the convex side to compress the handle fibers. Using the flat side will dent the handle rather than compressing it, and the fibers will not re-expand. Place your chisel in a soft-sided vise or clamp. Do not use a metal-faced vise, as you will scratch or damage your chisel. Next, I'm going to hammer the hoop down over the wooden handle. It should be a really tight fit. You should barely be able to pound it down. Here, I'm using a special hoop setting tool, but you can do this by making your own tool if you need to by drilling the right size hole in a piece of scrap wood. Once you've got the hoop set tightly, there should be a little bit of wood left sticking out. We're going to mushroom this wood over the hoop with a hammer to lock in the hoop and create a nice surface for hammering on our chisel during our woodworking projects. Next, we need to soften the fibers in the handle by placing them in water. I'm using a clamp so that just the end of the handle gets wet. I'm careful not to submerge the metal hoop to avoid rust. You can also protect the metal with some tape if you're not sure you can keep it out of the water. Now we need to mushroom the wood on the top of the handle over the hoop. I do this by pounding around the edges of the handle. I don't hammer straight down, but at a slight angle and with a drawing motion to pull the wood out and down towards the edge of the hoop. Once the water has dried, I like to add some oil to the top of the handle. Do not use mineral oil or other food oils, as they will always remain wet and may spoil over time. Traditional furniture oils such as linseed or tung should be fine. As the water dries, the wood may shrink slightly. If your hoop is seated properly, you should not feel the hoop loosen, even with the slight shrinkage of the wood. Here, we can already see some dry spots and air bubbles as the oil gets sucked into the end grain and re-swells the wood inside the hoop. After about 10 minutes, you should wipe away any excess oil. Once it cures and hardens, your handle should be well protected against moisture, and your hoop should retain a nice tight fit. Apply additional oil as needed in your particular climate throughout the year. Well, there you have it, another project completed. Now that you've seen me do it, I hope you try it for yourself. Until next time, I wish you enjoyment and success in all your projects.